This is Divine Khaleesi. Welcome to my channel for spirituality, recovery talk, and guided messages. I'm really excited today. I have Zach with me. Zach number 3 for the videos. But yeah.
I'm the best Zach.
He's the best Zach, yeah. So today we're talking about grief. I think everybody deals with grief in some way or another. Losing a loved one is very sad and tragic, and nobody likes to go through it, but it's a part of life. And we both, Zach and I, have both dealt with grief and addiction and recovery, and it can be a huge trigger for people. I know it was for me. So in 2012, I lost my mom. She had cancer, and it was like a 6-month period from diagnosis to when she died, and it was really difficult. I remember she got put in hospice, and my sister called me and said that she was going into hospice, and that's where they just make you comfortable until you pass. And I remember driving in the car. I didn't even want to go because I was so fucked up about it. So I remember my friend Cheryl, she lost her mom, and she's like, I wish I could go back and say goodbye to her. Like, you have to go. And I remember in the car on the way there, I had to drive from Hollywood to Boca, and I was chugging a bottle of Jack Daniels. I could not cope in a healthy way at that time. I was completely distraught and inconsolable. And that was a huge catalyst in my addiction. After that, I tried, IV drug use for the first time. I was drinking, blackouts all the time. That's weird. The camera, sorry. And then, it's even hard to talk about now.
Yeah.
Because it brings me back to that place where I had no idea I was an addict. I didn't know about any programs. I didn't know about healthy coping skills. I didn't know anything. I just knew that I had to get fucked up to take this heartbreak away, right? So Zach can relate. He's just went through something in early recovery, and he's going to share a little bit about his experience, strength, and hope.
So I've been here at Evolutions for about 2 months. Recently, in the last 2 weeks, my grandfather passed away. Just a little bit about him, he had 2 triple bypasses, survived cancer 5 times.
Wow.
Was in the military, and was in recovery as well.
Yeah.
When he was younger, he used to be rich. He was doing a lot of cocaine, and he lost all of his money. All of it. His business and all of his money. But it turned him into a better person because he learned to be grateful for what he does have.
Yeah.
And so for me, my grandpa was one of my biggest mentors and one of my biggest supporters on my team. Whew.
It's okay.
And just recently, I get a call from my dad early in the morning when I woke up to take the bus over to the treatment center. Yo, get over to the hospital right now. You need to see Grandpa before he dies. And I was like, what happened? So the night before, he fell and he broke his hip, and he was planning to have surgery the day that he passed away. He had a cardiac embolism in the middle of the night, and they put him on life support. And what I saw when I went in that hospital was a horrifying scene. Horrifying scene, not like anything I've ever seen before in my life.
Yeah.
And when I went to say my final goodbyes to him, a tear passed in his eye. He couldn't move, he couldn't talk, he couldn't breathe on his own, but a single tear passed from his eye, and I'll remember that for the rest of my life, how much he loved me.
Yeah.
He left me this Star of David, and he'll always be close to my heart. But for me, that day, because I left treatment to go home to be with my family for a day, when I went home, I walked into my room, and my dad, who was having surgery, left his Oxycontin pills in my bedroom.
Wow.
Because my bedroom's downstairs, and he was having a hard time walking up the stairs.
Right.
So when I get home, the first thing I see is a bottle of oxycodone
Wow.
in my room. That was my drug of choice.
Mm.
And when I saw him, it was just a snap decision that I decided I'm not going to take these pills. Because the first thing I wanted my grandfather to see when he passed away was not me getting high.
Yeah.
It was me staying strong and being sober and being supportive and taking the path that he wanted me to take in life. And, you know, I've been really sad, but I've been dealing with it. The way I've been dealing with it, I talk to my peers, I journal, I meditate, I pray, and I know that he's only one prayer away.
Yeah.
When I want to speak to him. So, you know, he's gone, but his spirit is still here and still alive in me. And every time I look up at the sky and I see one single shining star in the sky, I know that's him watching over me.
Yeah.
And he'll always be with me and always be watching over me, no matter what. With this star, he'll always be close to my heart.
That's amazing. You know, and I feel like, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, our loved ones would want us, like, when we stay clean and we do the right thing, we're like honoring their memory in that way, you know. Oh, I love you.
Love you too.
And it's really hard in the beginning because it's so fresh, right?
Yeah.
And like our brain just wants us to go to that instant gratification, that instant, everything's okay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, you know, it's not easy losing a loved one for anybody. But I feel like, you know, when you journal, when you talk to your peers, when you go to meetings, you know, we've all been through something, and we don't know each other, but we know each other, you know?
We're all the same.
Yeah, so like just keeping in mind that like
There's a reason that the big book can relate to every single alcoholic ever. It's because we're all the same.
yeah, we all have that. Every addict, every alcoholic, whatever you identify as. You know, I think I can speak for a lot of people when I say we've all dealt with losing somebody or grief in any way. And like if you're watching this and you're struggling, you know, there are resources out there.
You can do it.
You can do it. Stay strong.
If I can do it, you can do it.
Because it's easy to use it as an excuse to use. And
Absolutely.
I've been there time and time again where that was my main coping skill. We call them doping skills. Jeff calls them doping skills. Yeah, it's not easy to talk about, but we keep this conversation going, and I do this channel because I want to help. I want to help in any way, even if it's just one person. I'm sure we'd both be thrilled. But yeah, put it in the comments, DM me. What are you struggling with? What do you do to cope with dealing with grief or after losing a loved one? And let us know. Thank you for sharing, Zach.
No
I
problem.
appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
guys.